Zack Films turns bizarre crimes into extremely odd shorts that get billions of views. But today, I'm adding the parts he leaves out, the real charges, consequences, and prison time.
If everyone on Earth clipped their toenails and threw them into the ocean, you
Oh my
could think
gosh.
they'd float and blanket a huge area. But toenails don't actually float, so they would pile up at the bottom of the ocean as over 82 billion clippings rain down.
That's disgusting.
Choke fish and smother the seafloor until a
my
massive
gosh, it would
pile broke through the surface.
Kill all the
And after the
sea life.
clipping,
You would kill all the
have
sea
a
life.
walkable toenail island, 10 times bigger than Central Park.
This could be improperly dumping biohazardous waste, especially if you're gonna kill sea life. So you could be looking at significant fines or misdemeanor charges. Especially if you orchestrated everyone to do this, you'd be looking at environmental charges, possibly even biohazardous charges, which would mean serious fines and maybe even misdemeanor charges. Not to mention, this would be really disgusting.
The man fell onto an air hose.
Whoa.
The nozzle pierced his butt. Now, this was actually a high-pressure air hose.
That would hurt so
Pumped
bad.
air into his body at
What?
100 psi. In minutes,
my gosh.
the man swelled to twice his normal size.
Is this
His
real?
coworkers rushed to stop the air supply, but he had already inflated like a balloon. The air had filled his abdomen, chest, and even his face.
This looks incredibly
Medics tried
dangerous.
to treat him, but the pressure pushed the IV out of
What?
his skin. The man deflated back to normal after 3 days and ended up living.
If this happened on the job, the worker would likely have a workers' compensation claim. The bigger question, though, is whether the employer failed to follow proper workplace safety procedures. Based on Zack Films, it looks like this hose was just laying on the ground. That's not the way that it should be in a workplace. So there could be a lawsuit here. And if there was a lawsuit, you could sue for all the damages and injuries you went through, as well as your medical bills and pain and suffering. Which reminds me, if you're ever hurt on the job or hurt in general, reach out to ithinkIhaveacase.com to see if you have a case. Link in the description.
He took the master key and pressed it into melted candle wax,
What?
making a perfect impression. The mold was smuggled out of the prison, and his allies used it to make a metal copy.
Well, that's
They hid it
definitely
inside
illegal.
a cake and sent it back to him. But when he tried the key, it didn't fit. So he sent another wax impression and waited for the cake. And this time, the key worked. He passed through every locked gate, simply walking out of the prison.
Well-
and years later, he became president of Ireland.
Typically in prisons, they inspect any sort of item you're bringing in there. So this must have been a long time ago for them to get it through a cake. And escaping custody is a felony, at least here in California. This conviction typically adds consecutive prison time to whatever sentence you were already serving. Under federal law, this could be up to 5 years more in prison.
After the concert, he edited the band's Wikipedia page on
What?
his phone, then told the security guard that he was related to them. To prove it, he pulled up the page and showed his ID. And when the guard saw his name listed as family, he believed it and let the band backstage. When he met the band, he immediately confessed. But they found it so funny that they invited him in for drinks and even took his number. And the next day, their page was changed again, now listing him as a legend.
That's pretty funny. So even though the band didn't get upset, this is technically trespass. Unauthorized access to secure areas is criminal trespass.
He inhaled the dart
What
tip
the
while
heck?
playing with a toy gun. And
Oh
his
my
parents
gosh,
rushed
no.
him to the hospital to get it removed.
That's so painful.
Doctors found nothing and sent him home. For
Where'd he go?
44 years, he suffered constant sniffles and headaches.
44
which he thought
years?
were caused by allergies. But one day, he started sneezing, and the rubber dart flew out of his nose.
No way.
letting him breathe properly for the first time in 44 years.
That's insane. Oh my God. If multiple doctors missed an object that was in his nose for years, that could be medical negligence. I'm surprised that no one did a proper scan of his nose to see if that dart was in there. That to me is below the standard of care, which means that a doctor should have done this and could be sued if they didn't. Of course, whether it was medical malpractice would depend on the facts and what information they had at the time. So you're looking at a potential lawsuit here against the doctors.
The whoopee cushion burst as the children played, but suddenly they began to feel sick.
Ew.
Soon they were vomiting
What
and
the
even
heck?
struggled to breathe.
What was in that whoopee
Rushed to the
cushion?
hospital, only surviving because of emergency oxygen. But
Whoa,
this
that's
started
crazy.
happening all over the country. That's because the cheap toys were actually made with a dangerous chemical.
Oh no.
First, toxic gas was released into the air, poisoning
What?
the children.
Well, this is definitely a product liability case. If people were getting sick because there was a dangerous chemical in the product, you can definitely sue the manufacturer for that. It's reasonable that someone would use a whoopee cushion exactly how they are here because that's what it's made for. And if it's making people sick, well, that's on the company. Selling products with dangerous, undisclosed chemicals exposes the product to massive product liability lawsuits. Consumer safety violations like this could lead to millions in fines, not to mention all the lawsuits that people can sue for the damage that was done to them. And of course, if the company knew this and did it intentionally, you could be looking at criminal charges. And for that could be up to years in prison.
He cut the laptop in half with a saw, then the phone, the TV,
What?
and even an entire car.
Why is he cutting
See,
everything?
He was getting divorced, and his wife was supposed to get half of everything. So he sent
my
half
gosh.
of each item to her and put his half.
He took it too literally about getting half of everything.
Viral, and he ended up raising 2,000 euros from the listings. But a group of lawyers actually made the whole thing up as a prank. You see, they wanted to convince couples to make legal agreements before getting married by showing how messy a divorce could actually be.
If this story was actually true, intentionally destroying marital assets like this during a divorce could lead to court sanctions or contempt of court. In extreme cases, it could lead to criminal vandalism charge. And if he really made all that money on eBay, I wouldn't be surprised if he had to pay that to his ex. This is a great lawyer ad though, and also an ad for what you should never do.
They hit the lock with a sledgehammer, then tried to open it with bolt cutters. And when they couldn't, the company called the lock unbreakable.
Unbreakable,
The YouTuber cut a slice from an aluminum can, slid it into the lock's barrel, and hooked it on the other side. When he yanked it, the lock opened, proving the marketing was a lie. Because of this, the company sent him threatening messages and eventually sued him. But in court, they admitted his technique worked and eventually dropped the case.
Yeah, you can't sue them.
To pick their other locks and posted even more videos.
I mean, you can't sue them for defamation if what you say is true, and it looks like it was true here. So false advertising is primarily a civil issue that can lead to lawsuits. The company advertised this as unbreakable, and this YouTuber found a way around it. That's on them for advertising it incorrectly. So a judge ended up ruling that the YouTuber's videos were fair use, and whatever claims they were trying to make that this was defamation failed because it was true. He was able to break through the lock. He didn't make that up. Truth is an absolute defense. Eventually, the manufacturer dropped the lawsuit and ended up redesigning the locks.
If you somehow removed all of
your blood vessels
and tied them together, you might think it would be about this long. But the
I
human
would think it's
body
that
has
long.
Thousands of these tiny vessels that weave in and out of every body part. And
Wow,
with
that's
all
true.
of them combined, if you started in New York, your blood vessels would make it all the way to the Grand Canyon. It would go on to reach all the way across the Pacific Ocean, over Japan, Asia, and all of Europe. And not only would it make it all the way back to your starting point, but it would be able to make this trip 2 to 4 times.
2 to 4 times around the world? That's crazy. If you somehow had the superpowers to do this, technically dumping biological materials into water sources would violate environmental protection laws. At the very least, you're going to be getting some littering and vandalism charges. Depending on what the charges are, you could be looking at fines, a misdemeanor, or if there's actually illegal dumping going on, that could be up to a felony.
Wrap the cable around Mount Fuji's base before the massive motors pull it tight.
What are they going to do?
Billions of tons of
We're
rock
going to take the mountain off?
below. Then drill thousands of deep shafts, driving giant
Oh no,
steel
you do not
anchors
have
deep
permission to do
into the
this.
rock, and pump grout to lock them into the mountain's core before wrapping the outside with steel mesh and massive bands. Then use a ring of rockets and cables to lift the entire thing and turn it in the air by adjusting the cable lengths. Once it's flipped, carve a giant hole in the bottom and attach a frictionless bearing inside before threading a cord into the hole and locking it into the shaft.
What?
Then connect the cord to thousands of fighter jets that will
What is he
pull it to
making?
make the mountain spin.
This is all just to make the mountain spin? Wow, you're violating so many laws here. If some trillionaire did this without permission, they'd be altering land without permits, breaking a ton of environmental laws, as well as mining laws. And this could lead to massive fines and felony charges. I'm guessing hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines, maybe even millions, and some years in prison.
As he swallowed the coffee berries, his
berries.
stomach dissolved the soft fruit, while the hard beans stayed intact. And
Yeah.
it was fermented by his stomach acid before
Okay.
he pooped it out.
Oh.
Then he collected the beans. After cleaning and roasting them, he posted them for sale on Craigslist.
No.
And they sold out quickly. The same method is used with civets to
This
make
is
the
actually
most
true.
expensive coffee in the world. So people were excited to drink poop coffee made by a human. And even though some didn't like the taste, he still had 40 people on his waiting list.
Oh, what the heck? This is actually true. They have that poop coffee over in Indonesia. I actually tried that poop coffee from Civets when I was visiting Bali. And I gotta be honest, it tasted pretty good. Don't judge me. If a human eats coffee beans, poops them out, and sells them online, that's not exotic coffee. It's probably gonna be considered adulterated food. And if you're selling it across state lines, that could be regulated by the FDA. You're definitely looking at some fines and potentially some charges. The FDA would shut this down pretty fast. And if someone gets sick from it, you're gonna be looking at a lawsuit.
Place the flies in the fridge until
What?
they stop moving. Then slice a matchstick in half and glue a paper-thin wing across the top. Add tiny drops of glue to the wing, one for each fly. Then stick the dormant flies
Oh,
on
man.
by their bellies, all pointing in the same direction. Breathe warm air across their bodies, and as they wake up, their wings buzz back to life, and the whole plane lifts off the ground.
I don't know about this one. So this probably wouldn't be animal cruelty, but if you intentionally flew this plane into someone, that could be assault and battery, and also really gross. You'd likely get stuck with some fines for that.
She was reaching into a donation bin.
What
when
is she
someone
doing?
Pushed her from
Oh.
behind. The heavy
That's
door
assault and
slammed
battery for
shut
sure.
as she fell inside. Now these bins are built with one-way flaps that swing inward. Once you fall through,
she can't get
the
out.
door locks behind you. There's no handle or latch, just smooth metal and steep walls too high to climb. She screamed for help, but no one heard her. And for 3 days, she laid curled up on old clothes
terrible.
with no food or water. Finally, someone
How did
heard
she
her
survive with
cries
no
and
water for 3 days?
firefighters
That's
cut her
crazy.
out. But this wasn't her first time. She'd already been rescued from a donation bin 2 times before.
How did she get stuck in 2 other donation bins? It can't be that someone pushed her every single time. Something's not adding up there. She may be doing this on purpose. If someone repeatedly stages emergency or knowingly makes false reports, they could be charged with misuse of emergency services and get some seriously hefty fines.
If you cut off a dead person's finger, you might
What?
think you could use it to unlock their phone. But
That's
the sensor
disgusting.
actually checks for the body's
That's
natural
desecrating a body,
electricity,
by the
and
way.
this stops when a person
That's desecrating
dies,
a human
making
corpse.
The finger useless.
That's a crime.
If you tried to use the corpse's face to unlock it, the sensor would look for slight movements to make sure it's a real living person. But it would quickly notice that they're dead and you'd still be locked out.
If you never had their consent and you access a deceased person's phone, that's unauthorized access of a computer. And then cutting off someone's finger is desecrating a human corpse. These could lead to some serious fines and some jail time. A lot of people think it's not a crime to access a partner or family member's phone. That's not true. These are actually my favorite type of legal questions, and I cover a lot of these weird questions in my book, Oops, That's Illegal. To order a copy, click the link in the description.
Her child accidentally fell right into the
Oh
storm
my
drain,
gosh.
is what she told the police. So they spent hours sifting through trash,
Oh.
desperately looking for any sign of life. But there wasn't anyone inside. You see, the woman couldn't stand the trash clogging up the drain. And even though people already made complaints about it, nothing changed. So she
Wow.
made up this fake
Well, that's a false
emergency
report.
to tell the
You
police.
can definitely get in
And
trouble
after
for that.
Just a few hours of searching, the drain was left totally clean.
Filing a false emergency report can mean up to a year in jail and thousands in fines.
He flashed a fake ID to the agent before walking
Oh.
straight into the cockpit
Oh, this is
and
bad.
asking to sit in the jump seat. You see,
No,
this
no,
jump
no.
seat is usually reserved for off-duty pilots who need to catch flights at other airports, letting them travel for free. Now, he used to be a flight attendant, so when he went through security with a fake ID, the system cleared him as an employee. He tricked the airlines for years, boarding
This is really
hundreds
bad.
of free flights. But they eventually found out, and he was arrested.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna get arrested for this. Impersonating a pilot is a federal crime because it compromises aviation security. This can carry severe penalties, not to mention the fraud he committed. You'd be looking at up to 20 years in prison.
They soak $1 bills in bleach until the ink dissolves. And this is because real bills are made from
Oh, this
special
is
paper.
counterfeit.
It's hard to read.
There are some serious charges for counterfeiting money. The government does not like you making fake money.
$100 design. Now, if someone checks the note at a store, it will pass as a standard test. But if they look a little closer, they'll see it's missing the...
Using counterfeit money is a federal offense and can carry up to 20 years in prison.
Slide the card into the gap between the door and the frame where the latch is. Then angle it slightly and push it against...
Now he's educating people how to commit breaking and entering. Bypassing a lock to enter a building is typically treated as breaking and entering. And that's a felony in many places, even if nothing was stolen. But of course, if they can prove that you intended to break in and steal stuff, that would be burglary, and you'd be looking at several years in prison.
He ate one spicy chip and fainted.
Oh man, I heard about this.
People to eat a chip.
Oh man, I did a video on this a long time ago.
Hottest peppers and see how long they could wait before drinking. He woke up but passed out.
Yeah, this
again
company
a
got
few hours
in a lot of
later,
trouble. They had to recall this product. You know what's crazy? I still have one of these. And no, I'm not gonna eat it. These things are dangerously hot. Failing to warn consumers about foreseeable health risks could lead to product liability action. This could lead to massive class action lawsuits if people are harmed. So this teen in Massachusetts died from eating the one chip challenge. An autopsy revealed that he died from eating a high concentration of capsaicin. That's a chemical that makes peppers hot. And this was because he had an underlying congenital heart defect that made him more sensitive to the spice. It's a terrible story. But the thing about the company is that they were marketing this and encouraging people to eat these spicy chips and even go long without drinking water. So there is an argument that they could be on the hook for this death. And by the way, if you've ever been injured because of someone else's negligence, make sure to reach out to our law firm. I think I have a case.com. Link in the description.
They pried the mirror off of the shower wall.
What?
Hearing a strange ringing sound. And they were shocked to find a hidden camera.
Oh
inside.
no,
They
this is
followed
definitely
the camera
breaking
through the
privacy
house.
laws.
They discovered a hard drive hidden in a closet and
What?
suddenly realized their landlord had been watching them.
Yeah, landlords cannot do this. They're definitely breaking the law.
No files. Now this could mean it was streaming in real time, leaving no trace. But since there were no recordings, no one was charged. And the house mysteriously burnt down 2 weeks later,
Whoa.
whilst killing their teenage son.
That's insane.
Went back to look through the rubble, he cut his leg, and it got so infected that he had to have it amputated.
Oh my gosh.
Meaning the family lost a leg, their home, and their privacy, while the landlord got away scot-free.
That's terrible. Recording someone in a private place like that is definitely breaking the law. You're gonna get prison time and some fines. And if you intentionally burn down a house, that's arson. And if that landlord did burn down that house, he'd be responsible for the injuries caused to all these people.
He was pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt, and officers gave
Well,
him
that's a
tests
legal
to see if he had
reason to
been
pull
drinking.
someone
They
over.
had to run the
Oh, he's
test
been
again.
drinking?
The man refused and walked toward the back of his van, saying that he was...
Well, he's got a
going to
DUI,
kill
of
them.
course.
He yanked open the van doors, releasing
What?
his full hive of honeybees that he kept in the back.
Oh, well, that's
Swarm
assaulting a
exploded
police
into the
officer.
air, stinging officers as they sprinted for cover. Backup
That's
finally
crazy.
arrived and arrested the man, but he paid bail and was released just hours later.
I'm surprised he got released so quickly. He had to face some charges though, because releasing insects or animals to attack police officers is gonna be assaulting an officer. Typically, assaulting a police officer can carry up to 5 years in prison.
They crept towards the house,
What?
keeping their footsteps light so they wouldn't be heard.
Looks like trespassing already.
A bucket of poop.
Ew.
See, in Japan, poop was really valuable. Farmers needed it as fertilizer, helping
Okay.
crops grow faster. And people even traded their poop in exchange for food.
Well, then I guess
Eventually, human
he
poop
committed
became
theft
so valuable
of poop.
that thieves risked getting caught just to steal it.
Taking physical material, even if it's poop, could be considered theft. Depending on the value of the poop, this could be considered petty theft or a more serious charge. And if he broke into a building to steal it, well, that's burglary.
She paid him $7,000 to break into her house and kill her husband. And when she got home,
that's an
she
obvious
found
crime.
police taping off the crime scene. She put on a show, screaming and pretending to be shocked.
Hiring a hitman is solicitation of murder, a serious felony. You can be prosecuted and imprisoned even if the murder never took place. Depending on what happens, solicitation of murder could carry up to life in prison in some places.
She was secretly excited to get her dead husband's money. When the police
and that's gonna
questioned
be
her, she gave a list of suspects.
She's not gonna get the money if she
That's when
caused the
her
murder.
husband walked into the room alive.
What?
She couldn't believe it. You see, the hitman she hired was actually an undercover
Oh.
cop. So
Well,
she
she's
spent
going
the
straight
next
to jail.
16 years paying for her crime.
Looks like she got 16 years on this one, but would have been a lot more if the person died.
The girl took a Tylenol to help with the cold, but within hours, she was dead. Over the next few days, 6 more people in the area
This
died
looks
the
like a
same
failure to
way.
warn by
The deaths
Tylenol.
triggered nationwide panic.
Or something
Stores
was
pulled
incorrect in
Tylenol
there.
from shelves, and millions of bottles were recalled.
Product recall.
Authorities
Yeah.
launched a massive investigation and discovered the capsules had been laced with cyanide.
What?
The tragedy led to the invention of tamper-proof seals.
Someone had tampered the seals and put cyanide in it? That's a serious crime. I mean, you're committing murder. Tampering with consumer products that leads to death is a serious crime. You're looking at murder charges, and you're gonna get life in prison.
The assistant was locked inside the box, and the magician reached for his saw to cut her in half. But suddenly, a man jumped up from his seat and ran toward the stage.
whoa.
He grabbed a nearby sword and stabbed the magician.
Oh,
in the
he
neck,
stabbed the magician
thinking he
in
was
the neck.
saving the woman's life.
Wow.
You see, they were in a small town where no one had seen the magic trick before. Luckily, the magician did survive, and later
That's gonna be
explained
assault
the
with a
woman
deadly
was
weapon.
never in danger.
This person might have a defense arguing that he thought it was real, but you're still gonna get in trouble and charged with the crime. Just might have a lower penalty.
If the driver slipped him some cash, the traffic cop would just let him go.
Well, that's private
This
cop.
happened all over the city. So the mayor fired almost 2,000 cops and hired a group of mimes.
What?
Instead of writing tickets, they made fun of jaywalkers and mocked dangerous drivers, which embarrassed them in public. Next, he sent out thumbs down signs to citizens, which
What
they
the heck?
used to shame rule breakers, and the number of traffic deaths dropped by more than half.
That's interesting, but most cities would get in trouble for getting rid of their police force because they're supposed to provide some sort of safety. If anyone gets seriously hurt or dies because there's no police officers, well, that city's gonna get a lot of lawsuits.
He rode his motorcycle without a helmet, and the police gave him
that's a
fine.
ticket.
But he
There you go.
was an electrician with access to the power grid, so he checked the records. and
Oh, no,
found
you
the
didn't.
station hadn't paid its bill in 3 years. Now, this bill was incredibly expensive, so he shut off their electricity. For 5
Wow.
hours, the police station went dark, all because they gave a fine to the wrong guy.
Typically, tampering with critical utility structure is a serious crime. But in the real story, which happened in India, the man did pay the fine for not wearing his helmet. And he didn't really get in trouble because the police owed that electricity money. So really no crime here. He was just doing his job.
A bomb was strapped around the neck of a pizza delivery man in 2003.
Oh,
He was
wow.
allegedly forced to rob the bank by strangers who locked the device on him. After the robbery, he was instructed to follow a series of clues that would disarm the ticking bomb.
Using an explosive device to control a victim is a federal crime involving weapons of mass destruction. This would likely carry mandatory life imprisonment. The person with the bomb strapped around their neck wouldn't get in any trouble because they committed these crimes under duress, meaning that they really had no choice because he was going to die if he didn't.
The pulls shot out of the briefcase if someone tried to steal it. This happened when the wrist strap
Whoa.
was disconnected,
is like a
triggering
booby
the
trap.
telescopic pulls to extend. And this made it impossible to run with. Next,
Oh, well,
the handle
it didn't hurt
clamped down
anyone.
on their hand,
Oh,
locking
well,
it in place
okay, now
and
it did.
crushing their fingers, and only a special key could deactivate the mechanism. As the thief struggled to escape, the owner could alert the police, but it was just as likely to trap the real owner, meaning it never really became popular.
Huh. Yeah, you can see problems with that invention. While you can defend property, using booby traps could lead to criminal charges. And of course, if you sell this product and people who aren't thieves get hurt using it, well, they could have a lawsuit against you for product liability.
Prisoners used spoons to dig through the walls of their Alcatraz cell in 1962. Night after night, they scraped away at the concrete surrounding.
So using tools to escape prison is a felony. Even the attempt itself can add years of prison time to what you're already serving. Not to mention when you're caught, this could lead to stricter incarceration conditions. This is one of the most famous prison escapes ever. I don't think they'd be able to pull off a prison escape like this in modern times. I think some people say they were never found because they may have died. No one, I guess, knows the answer.
The old lady crushed the pills and secretly put them into her tenants' food.
Oh no, you can't do that. That could be considered attempted murder.
Offering a home to elderly and disabled people. But she would kill them, then bury their bodies in her backyard to steal their money.
Oh, she's a murderer. She's a murderer.
For years, the missing bodies went unnoticed until police
she's a serial killer.
One man. And when they started digging in the backyard, they uncovered 9 buried bodies.
That's multiple counts of murder, which means multiple life in prison sentences. She's never getting out of jail. It doesn't matter that she was a senior citizen. She's living the rest of her life behind bars.
A burglar became stuck in a chimney after
well,
getting
we clearly have burglary here.
Between the narrow brick walls. And the homeowner,
this is one of the dumbest burglars,
lit a fire in the fireplace. Thick smoke and intense heat quickly filled the chimney.
Did he do this on purpose?
The homeowner, unaware of the
unaware, okay.
Lit a fire in the fireplace. Thick smoke and intense heat quickly filled the chimney.
That's crazy.
The man to scream for help, but the flames intensified and the smoke overwhelmed him. Firefighters arrived at the scene and discovered the man's lifeless body still wedged inside.
The homeowner didn't know that there was someone in there, and there was no reason for him to believe that someone was in there, so it's not murder, it's an accident. There are some crazy situations where burglars have been able to sue property owners for getting hurt on their property. This doesn't seem like one of them, though. It seems like the owner would have a pretty good defense against any lawsuit that he had no idea someone was in the chimney when he lit the fire.
They found a human head with skin, hair, and one eyeball still attached. Now, police had been searching for a missing local woman for years and suspected her husband was the killer.
They always suspect the husband.
About the head, he quickly confessed, saying he did kill his wife.
Well, he confessed to murder
in the wetland. But experts later discovered the skull was actually around 2,000 years old.
Oh my gosh.
The wet acidic soil had just
It wasn't his wife.
Making it look recent. He tried to take back his confession.
No,
still sentenced to life.
You confessed. Confessions are legally binding evidence. Even if based on unusual circumstances like this, it's still going to be evidence allowed in court, and it can lead to life imprisonment without physical evidence.
He smashed a bottle of wine over her head.
Assault and battery.
But this wasn't just some random
Could even be considered attempted murder.
He
was really trying to harm her and kill her.
The girl left a bad review. Instead of
over a bad review?
He tracked her down through social media and traveled 500 miles.
Oh, this is like premeditated.
She was stacking shelves at a supermarket when he showed up and attacked her. He was arrested and sentenced to over 2 years in prison over one single book review.
Wow, he got off kind of light, in my opinion. I think he should have more years than that. Well, this is clearly battery because he broke a bottle over someone's head. You're definitely going to jail for that. It's not that much of a stretch to say this is attempted murder. At least they could try to charge him with that.
The mortician stole the gold fillings, then stacked bodies on top of each other to save money on cremation. These remains together, which
that's disgusting.
Ones received the ashes of several different people. When a rival
abuse of a corpse like this is typically a felony, and he's gonna get a lot of lawsuits from the families. So not only will he serve prison time, but he's gonna get sued for all the money he has.
After she withdrew thousands of dollars from the bank, he followed her through the streets. And while she was walking, he grabbed her and threw her to the ground.
Wow, that's robbery,
what he thought
battery,
was the cash, and started to run away. but he realized he had taken the wrong bag. So he came back and slammed her even harder
Oh my
into
gosh,
the
this is
concrete.
terrible.
Her spine snapped.
Oh my
leaving her
gosh.
Paralyzed from the waist down.
That's terrible.
He took the money and ran, but was later caught and sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Yeah, he should be sentenced to 30 years, maybe even more. How badly you hurt someone will likely increase the amount of years you have to spend in prison. This is a serious injury. I can't believe someone would do this. It makes me sick. Violent robbery resulting in permanent injury is considered aggravated assault, which carries significant prison time, often decades, as you see here, because of how much damage someone caused.
His car burst into flames, completely consuming the young man inside.
Oh, man.
But when his girlfriend tried to claim his life insurance, investigators noticed something strange. The body's DNA actually belonged to an 81-year-old woman.
Oh,
you see,
no.
the couple had dug up the corpse, placed it in the car.
Oh, this is
and then
insurance
set it
fraud.
on fire. Next,
This
the
could
man
carry up to
dyed his
20 years
hair
in prison.
and pretended to be the woman's new boyfriend. But when police found him, he confessed to faking his own death, and they both got extended prison time.
Insurance fraud is taken pretty seriously. You're gonna go to prison for this.
As he reached for his money, a note slipped through claiming that someone was trapped inside.
What?
News outlets ran with the story, reporting that a man was somehow stuck in the ATM. The story spread like wildfire, with many speculating
How is someone stuck in an ATM?
impossible for someone to fit in such a tiny space.
Yeah.
When police arrived, they did find the man, but he was actually trapped in a maintenance room behind the ATM.
Oh, wow.
In the machine itself. He went in to repair it when the door got stuck behind him, and with no phone to call for help,
Wow, that's
he wrote
crazy.
notes and slipped them through the receipt slot.
So someone being trapped in a room like that seems like there was something the employer or the company did wrong. There's no way you should be locked in a room like that with no way to get out. This exposes the company to heavy OSHA fines and civil lawsuits for being literally trapped in a building. These were some crazy videos, but I break down the craziest laws in Darman videos too. To watch them, click here.